Hello everyone and blessed be. I was asked to make a video about shielding, magically shielding yourself. And I had to think long and hard on it because, like with most things, it's very unique to each person. But I also feel it's extremely important in general. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, try to give all kinds of different examples because you are going to have to practice and try different techniques until you find the one that works for you. With that said, it is very important to do this. This is different, in my opinion, than casting a circle. I am not Wiccan, so I'm not really going to get into that other than the fact that casting a circle creates a safe space around you to do something in. Whereas protecting yourself or shielding yourself is to protect your physical and spiritual body and your energy, if that makes sense. So again, there's many ways to do this, and if you watch my video on sharing energy, it talks a little bit more about doing just that. Because what I have seen is some people saying they don't want to shield because they're afraid it won't let them feel or interact with other people's energy. In some situations, I think that's a good thing, but once you learn and practice and find the shielding that works to you, you will be able to control your interaction with other people's energy and not walk around completely cut off from it when you don't want to. This is not just for empaths. I am very empathetic and I am clairvoyant. I am not what I would consider to be an actual empath, but I'm not going to get into that debate right now. That can be very controversial as well. However, I think it is our responsibility as people on a spiritual path, whether you're an empath or not, to be able to protect ourselves in this type of way. I have a shield up at all times. For many, many, many years, my shield was so thick because I was trying to shut out my abilities. And the things I was hearing and seeing, I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I had created this very, very, very thick shield. And I actually had to learn to, I guess you would say, thin it or change it to allow me to interact with those things in a safe way. Some people go around without one and then end up extremely affected by things around them, like going into a grocery store if you're an empath. I'm not empathetic, or I'm not an empath, but going into a room with a lot of people, I work with energy a lot. I can read energy instantly. So I'm affected in a lot of the same ways as an empath. I just don't take on the emotions myself to where I can't tell that they're not mine. But again, I won't get into all of that. Shielding is extremely important. It is your responsibility, I feel, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but I really feel it is your responsibility to learn to do this for your own safety and your own sanity. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, I just can't shield, or it doesn't work for me. I won't get into the I don't want to. That's part of your path you're going to have to go through. But the reason is, I think, because people will read how a shield should be done and try it and it doesn't work for them. So like I always say, try all kinds of different ways until you find one that works for you. And another thing is, and in this example, this is us. I didn't have a little person figurine. And this is a shield that you ultimately want to create. It doesn't have to be an exact circle. You do need to get to the point where you can visualize it. And for some people, it's a different shape. For some people, it's like a gingerbread cookie cut that goes right around them. The important thing is that it covers you entirely. What I have come across with some people is they do this much. So they are able to create this barrier and they're like, yep, it's all around me. And I say, did you go under your feet? That's a part that's often forgotten, is you need to fully encase yourself in whatever shape it is in order for it to be a true shield that's going to protect all of you. If you miss any part of this circle, it's not a shield. It's like putting on your coat and not zipping it up or something like that. I guess, that doesn't cover your whole body either, but you get the point. So what you want to do, we're going to pretend this is a complete full circle, is you want to create something that completely surrounds you versus creating a bubble. Here I go with my silly visuals. Here's us. Here's me. And you create that bubble, but it doesn't cover everything. Okay? And a lot of times, this is what happens when people have problems. They feel that they've created their shield, but they haven't fully encompassed themselves. Now, like I said, there's many ways to do this. Visualization is the best way. If you have a hard time just visualizing the shield, which is your own energy, so you're building up that intent, you're building up that energy inside you, and then you're pushing it out of you to surround yourself and encasing. So it's not just going off into Never Never Land. It is staying directly around you and encasing you. Your intent has to be there to protect. I also have, I change the energy. If you really get into energy, you can do all different kinds of things with the shield. You can make it throb, you can make it change vibrations or frequencies, etc., etc. I'm just going to talk about the basic shield. If you have a hard time pushing this out, then you need to find a visualization or a way that helps you. What I have told people is pretend that you're in here and you put your hands out to your side and you hold a hula hoop around your waist. And then you envision light coming from the top half of the hula hoop and encasing you like a half bubble. And then you envision light coming from the bottom half of that hula hoop and shooting down around to cover the bottom, as long as it ends up being a complete encasing. You can do this by imagining Star Trek or Star Wars laser light beams shooting up and coming around you. You can envision blowing and having a white light come around you. Whatever works for you. There's no silly way. It's never stupid if it works, right? And what you want to do is, the end result is to have yourself completely encased with the intent that that encasement is then going to protect you. Another thing that can happen is people get to the point where they can create this, but then they go out in public and they want to feel. So rather than just thin it a little bit, they drop it completely and then they get whammied and don't understand why. I had a shield when I went in. Did you keep your shield up? Sometimes you can have a focal object that reminds you of your shield. Uh, it's going to take some practice, and it is going to take some dedication for you to learn that you have a right to do this, and it is also your responsibility for your own self healing, self health, and self sanity to do this. It does not mean you can never feel again. It does not mean you can never interact with energy again. None of that. It is so you choose when and how you do that. You are the one in control of what you interact with. In some cases, you might be able to do this circumstantially. Like you're in your car and you're getting ready to go into the grocery store, and you visualize your shield and you go in, and then when you come out, you drop it. That's totally fine. Everybody is different. I personally keep one up at all times. However, my work with energy is that I have it set to kind of be like a tripwire. If certain things come around, it kind of alerts me, and either I need to strengthen my shield or thin it a little bit to interact with that energy depending on the circumstances. But not everybody wants to get to that point or needs to get to that point. I just work with energy a lot. I work with helping other people with situations, so I'm dealing with a lot of other people's energies, situational energies, spirits, entities, etc. So my need for a type of shield can be very different than somebody else's need. And again, once you get this up, you can do things with it. You can visualize mirrors all around it, or shiny outside to where everything that comes back is deflected back to itself, kind of like a return to sender situation. So this is very protecting as well. Also, if you want to hide or not be seen, you can do the mirror kind of situation too. If this works great for you, and then all of a sudden you find that it is not working so great, you are going to want to reevaluate your shield, make sure it's there, and then probably change the energy, the vibration, the frequency of your shield. And sometimes in certain circumstances, you have to do that a lot. If you walk into a room and there's just a lot of people, you may put one type of shield up, and you will get to the point. I'm telling you, if you practice this and you truly dedicate yourself to practicing this, and not just kind of do it every once in a great while and think, meh, whatever. If you truly want to get into the energy work and the dedication that it takes to work with this kind of protection, you can get to the point where you can walk into a room and have a general shield up. And it can be thin enough that you're going to pick up on energies a bit, but they're going to come here. And then you are going to come out here and meet those energies and decide if you want to be a part of it or not. And if so, you're pushing your energy out here, and the other energy is coming in here. Sorry, I can't draw to save my life. And you sense this energy, you can then decide how to react. If this is nasty, nasty, nasty energy, you can quickly change your shield. You can thicken it up, you can make it vibrate. There's so many different ways. Again, it depends on how in depth you want to get into this and how versed you want to become in working with energy. But it is important. And again, it kind of rubs people the wrong way when I say it's our responsibility to do it. But because we are aware of energy and how it affects us, as soon as you have that self-awareness, I do believe it's a responsibility. I had to learn it. I felt it was my responsibility. And it's also my right to protect my energy and my energy space. I don't have to leave myself completely open just because I can feel other energies. That that doesn't say, well, you have that gift. You have to be completely exposed at all times. Absolutely not. That is not healthy, and it will start to affect you. People can drain you, energies can drain you. It doesn't have to be from a person, it can be an environment, it can be an object. And I tell people to do this when they go online. Have your shield up. When you watch a video, have your shield up. Just like the trigger warning in the other video I had, we do some readings on the Facebook page I'm on, and we will put in there in big caps with asterisks all around it, shield first. People should already be doing that, but not everybody knows that they should do that. And all of a sudden they'll get, like a headache, or they'll get sick to their stomach, or they'll just feel yuck. And that's because they didn't shield and come out and meet it here to decide how to go forward. Again, everybody's different. The level of energy work you do is going to be different, because I do a lot, and I do it with a lot of different people. I do it in some very serious, sometimes dangerous situations. I have to do mine one way. But I really believe that it is very, very important to find a way, work with this, look up different types of ways of doing this. Some have a pyramid where you feel the energy shooting from the top of your head. You build it up inside you, you shoot it from the top of your head, and it comes down around you as a pyramid. That's amazing. Some people have to do it from their fingertips and kind of swirl their hand around their body and see their energy coming from their fingertips and pooling all around them to make a protective cylinder. It doesn't matter the shape, as long as it goes all the way around you or encompasses you completely. So whatever shape it is, as long as it fully encompasses you rather than partially or mostly encompasses you. To me, that is the most important part. So I hope that made sense. I'm going to cut this video right now. If you have any questions or comments or how you've learned to do it, please put it in the comments below. I think that's a great place for us all to interact and learn from each other. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and that little bell. It lets me know people are interested in these videos. If you have any other videos you'd like me to do, please let me know that as well. Thanks and blessed be.